My name is Carson. Welcome back to Thrifty Garage. We recently installed new cutting edge on our SnowX power plow, and in today's video we're going to be installing these orange winter equipment carbide life extenders. These are supposed to extend the life of your snowplow cutting edge by 3 to 5 times. Right now we're only getting about a year out of our cutting edges, and so we're hoping to get 2 or 3 years minimum out of these for a minimal cost. It's about 50% increase over what your factory cutting edge is, so not a bad increase in price. If we get even 2 years, it's worth it. So there is some technical difficulties. It's not a bolt-on kit, so we'll kind of show how we installed it and what we've learned, what we found online, and try to make your install easier. I do think this is going to be a great upgrade that's going to be money back in our pocket. So for starters, we bought the extender kit with the 2 end pieces and the 2 center pieces. This is kind of a bolt-on kit. They also sell, I think it's called the Pegasus, which is a full new blade set, which is I think like $2,000, which is probably 2.5 times what a factory cutting edge is. That one's supposed to last 5 times as long. This time around we decided not to opt for that, wanted to try this out. We did install this yesterday, so we'll talk about kind of what we learned with that. But basically what we do is with the wings closed, this one will sit right there, that one will sit right there. That wing's a little bit out right now, and then we put the 2 ends on, and when they expand, there's a little bit of gap in between each, but it's supposed to help keep that cutting edge off the ground and not wear out as fast. So on this one, watched a video from another guy on YouTube. He did a great job explaining what he did and how he did it. We're going to follow a lot of his steps, but one thing he did say is drilling was very difficult. So I did decide to pick up this Vevor mag drill with the annular cutter. This has the 18mm annular cutter on it, which worked out perfect to drill these, and I swear less than a minute per hole. So definitely worth getting a mag drill if you don't already have one. These bolted right up, and I did set this blade down on the ground after I put the new cutting edge on, and then I set these in front and marked out where all of our holes need to go so that we can go ahead and drill those out. On this back side, these bolts are a little bit long. As you can see here, when this slides in, it will contact the cutting edge there. So we are going to have to cut these off and modify those, as well as this other guy's video, he recommended putting a washer behind the cutting edge here to help pop it out away from the blade. So we will try both those things out, and probably start on that end and get to drilling. To mark these holes, I use this gray marker Sharpie. Worked really well and allowed me to write on the black, and that doesn't wash away when we're drilling this out. So that's first tip would be get a good marker pen. Okay, with the mag drill, I would recommend drilling the furthest away a hole first and then working your way back, because this does make quite a mess. And I would also clean the area as good as you can, because like I said, this makes a mess. Okay, we got this turned on, looking good on all sides. And I use this white lithium PB Blaster stuff. This product worked great. I didn't have any cutting well, but this pretty much worked like I would expect cutting oil to do. There we go, like butter. Now we're cooking with Crisco. Dang it, I'm plowing into my plow blade. Okay, we need to extend this wing out. Okay, we get all lined up there. Looks good. that was also probably my fault. As I was hooking this up, I said to myself, hey, that underside's probably getting pretty dirty. Probably should wipe that off. Should have thought, should have listened to my own advice in my head. Okay. Let's try that. That should hopefully not lift off again. We're almost through on this one. Okay. Turn on the magnet. Lift her out. Okay, there she goes. 3 nice clean holes with the mess all around them. All our bits and shavings all over the floor. I don't really want to broom this. This stuff's just nasty in general. But what I did on the other side is I bolted them up. It does have a little bit of give in there, so I just tried to make sure the bottom was flush all the way across. Bolted those up, tightened those up, and then I think the plan is I'm going to take off this wing, and that way it'll be easier to grind off the backside of those bolts. And then I can work on this one. It doesn't really matter if those are on or off for that. The other reason, I have to take this off anyways to put those washers behind there. My other thought was, what if I take my old cutting edge, and if I cut off that top piece and use that top piece as a spacer? That's an option also. That's a little bit thicker than what the washers would be. The only thing I don't like about the washers is the surface area is really small, and it's got a lot of pressure points on that back plow blade. If you want to size this up without having to put the plow on and set it on the ground, this backside is probably about a 1/16, and it's actually not even perfect. It probably goes from a 1/16 or even less up to probably 3/16. So probably about an 1/8 all the way across is about perfect, to where when that's sitting on the ground, that this is contacting at or before the same time that this plow cutting edge is. And these are going to, you know, grind together and kind of become one over time. Okay, I'm working on these middle ones now. I did pull out this bolt to test fit to see if my method's going to work, and I think it is. So that bolt there, we'll drill one here. I decided to drill this one over a little bit this way. I checked on the back side there, and there's a rib here, and there's a rib here, and there's a rib right here. So I pulled that a little ways away, so we're clear there, drilled that out. I did find this a little bit interesting. This is from the wing cutting edge, this is from the center section cutting edge, and this is from the plow mold board. So the mold board and the wings are about the same, and then this main center cutting edge is about twice as thick. So that's interesting. Okay, we've got our normal plow bolt here, and hang this guy on it. And then this will sit in the corner, and that way the carriage bolts still work. And then we have this carriage bolt and this carriage bolt. There we go. Washers on the back side. And we've got the nylock nut on this guy. And then just a normal nut and washer on these guys. It does feel like that washer's going to be a little bit smashed, so this is about as low as you can hang this. If you go any lower, you're going to be hitting that mold board lower lip. I don't know why it hangs so... Why is it so crooked? Same with these guys. I'm surprised how much slop those have. So when we tighten this up, we'll have to kind of level that out. But looking good. I'm happy with that. I'm really happy I reused that factory bolt. I know that other video I watched, he opted out of that, which, I mean, we're adding 2 more bolts here, so it's not, you know, we got 1, 2, skip 1, 3, 4, not a big deal. But I'm really happy to reuse that factory one. So I don't know if that's how winter equipment intended that or not, but it definitely works in this situation. Well, that could have been a lot worse. That was, wow. My hand's bleeding. I just wrapped this mag drill around it. This thing was wrapped around my hand. Just broke off the bit inside here. It just stopped drilling. I don't know if it got too hot. I don't know if the drill bit's dull. But I started putting a little more force on it than I probably should have. And I got what I deserved. So yeah, we'll have fun with that. And I don't know what I'm gonna do with, I got 1 hole left. Yeah, that bit is definitely trash. I don't think she's cutting anymore. So I might just go with a smaller bit on that in the last one. I gotta get this thing done. So that sucks. Glad I'm okay. A little bit of blood is the least of my worries. Okay, I didn't film it, but we got our last 2 bolts drilled. These 2 were a little bit of a bugger. I did break my bit. I ordered 2 more on Amazon. These 11/16 were pretty close to the 18mm I was using, and these were 2 for $30, so $15 a piece. I was just going to go to Fastenal here locally. Today's Tuesday, but I was going to go yesterday. But they were going to be like $160 looking online. So some more cheap bits. Got them drilled. Got them done. Did fight me, but we got them all installed. Now we've got to modify our wings. We've got our tooled wings painted out here. We've got about a 4-inch gap here. I'm going to leave this little lip because I think this lip will help angle that blade out. We're going to use the cutoff wheel. I got this extra large. I ordered these from Benchmark Abrasives. Used them in the past. They work pretty good, pretty inexpensive compared to going to the local big box store. So we're going to chop those up. We'll have to kind of cut this little wing edge off. We'll bolt those behind there. We'll modify our bolts, and hopefully everything works well. The other thing I did notice is if this doesn't work, I realized also these wings have kind of a spring built into them, and so I thought about trying to order some type of ramp. And if I had a little bit of a wedge starting back here at, you know, a few millimeters and going up to, you know, half an inch in thickness, I think that the spring in here would actually push this wing out enough to clearance all of these. So that is an option I can do, but we're going to just try to cut these bolts off here and space that out, and hopefully that does what we needed to do. That would be the easier modification for future replacement at least. Wings back off. We've got this old cutting edge modified, cut 4 inches off, cut on an angle right here to get rid of the old weld as well as to make it fit around this new weld. Used a flap disc to take off the sharp edges. I'm going to go ahead and throw a quick coat of paint on this. I'm not super worried about it, but just keep that from flash rusting. And then we'll go ahead and put the cutting disc back on there, and we'll zip these extra threads off. It's going to be tight. I know it's going to be tight, but we'll just see how that fits. One advantage of doing it this way is if I have to, I could always weld something behind there, a piece of rebar or something behind this guy, and that would kick the blade out even further. So that's an option as well. So we've got a couple of different options to make this work. Okay, we got our bolts cut off. I ended up doing this a little bit progressively. This first one I took off the most. You can see I got a little bit of that nut head on top. This one I just shaved off the top of the nut, just a tiny bit right there. And this one I pretty much left the whole nut in place. So we'll see how that method ends up working. Here's our painted pieces. Still a little bit tacky. We'll go ahead and set these bolts on and put her up in place. Here's the real test. Well, we learn something new every day. Apparently, I didn't need to chop this last one. Only needed to chop those two. So that's good to know for anybody else. Let's see if we left any marks on the front there. I don't see any. So that's about perfect. These bolts being pushed out like that, double thick there, we are about maxed out. So these, I mean, this guy's not even fully, yeah, both of these. So ideally, you upgrade your bolts, go half an inch longer. Yeah, that ought to do it. Let's put on that other one on the other side. Okay, so this side is hanging up a little more. I'm not sure how much you can see in there. It does retract, it does come in. So you could shave a little bit off your cutting edge here. Give this a lip. That would actually work pretty well. Or we angle that nut. I think I'm just gonna angle that nut real quick just to help her out. Okay, well that's a wrap on this video. How to install the Winter Xtendor carbide teeth on your SnowX snowplow. This is the SnowX Low Pro power plow, and a little bit of work, but now that we're set up, we're basically ready to go. Once this cutting edge is wore out, we can use this as a template for our future ones, and hopefully this lasts an extra 3 to 5 times as long, and should be worth the extra money. So hopefully this results in some cost savings. So thanks for watching this Thrifty Garage video. If you have questions, let us know. Obviously we'll do an update video on this in the future, let you know how it holds up, how long it lasts, and if it really works. Thanks for watching Thrifty Garage. Hope you subscribe. We'll see you on the next one. I'm gonna back the camera up so I don't get you just completely destroyed.